Just came in from a very slippery run outside there, but getting used to running on the ice. The Cauliflower Alley Club president, Brian Blair, who I did shoot interview with that you can find on this channel. And of course, I have covered the 2018 and 2019 Cauliflower Alley Club reunions. They're posted in full on this channel, as well as the interviews I did surrounding those reunions. I think about 100 videos from last year alone. But Brian Blair made the announcement today that it has been postponed, likely until mid-September. So that's unfortunate, but we knew that was coming. I've heard that they might be closing casinos in Las Vegas for 30 days. I was just talking in my last news update about the Canada and US border potentially being closed, and someone actually sent me a news article from the Globe and Mail saying that it looks like they might make that announcement tomorrow, that they might close the border between Canada and the US for everything but essential services, which will completely screw over the rest of my interviews for this month. I'll have to just do Skype interviews and continue compilation videos if that is the case, and it looks to be the case. So whenever this panic dies down, I'll just go on to interviews. I was just talking to Billy Graham's webmaster who lives in South Florida, and he says gyms are open in South Florida and people are taking it way less serious there. So I wish they would stop acting like World War III is going on here in my part of Canada. Georgia Smith, the daughter of Davey Boy Smith, the sister of Harry Smith, the daughter of Diana Hart, has said today that WWE apparently told her the Hall of Fame very likely could happen this year at Summerslam weekend, since it isn't happening Wrestlemania weekend now. And as I mentioned previously, I was really excited for Davey Boy Smith to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. He was long overdue, and Harry, Davey Boy Smith Jr., the HANNIBAL TV champion, multiple-time WWE Tag Team champion, he was actually going to be inducting Davey Boy Smith. So looks like it could very possibly happen at SummerSlam if things have died down by then. WWE officially canceled their upcoming house show at Madison Square Garden. Raymond James Stadium, where Wrestlemania was supposed to be held, put out an announcement saying refunds for Wrestlemania will be given at point of purchase. If you purchased your tickets through Ticketmaster, you will automatically be refunded in the next 30 days. Apparently, the Marriott in Tampa, which was the official WrestleCon hotel, is supposed to be changing their stance about non-refundable hotel rooms. I know for all the hotel rooms for like Billy Jack Haynes, Mike McGurk, and my crew, we had about 8 hotel rooms at around $200 American a night. So I still haven't got refunds for that, and I hope to get them. I guess Edge drove 17 hours for his Raw appearance, and that was commendable. That was due to flight issues. But somebody pointed out that he was paid approximately $120,000 for that appearance, and I guess he made a speech. So driving 17 hours for $120,000 US isn't bad in my opinion. And I like Edge. I'm not saying anything against Edge. I'm just saying he did get a massive payday for that appearance on Raw, which I still haven't watched his part. I did watch the Austin part, the Undertaker part. The Austin was basically a beer commercial for his beer. And I already talked about the Undertaker one in my last update. Cedar Jerkin says, hope all is well. Well, other than this craziness, it's all right. AJRX says he likes the video with everyone's take on Sunny. That's one of the compilation videos I've done lately. I also did one on the Montreal Screwjob, the Brawl for All, many others, Owen Hart's death, witnesses of Bruiser Brody's murder. I've done a bunch because my interviews this month have been canceled. So I've been actually getting a lot of good reaction to these compilation videos because a lot of my newer subscribers didn't see a lot of the footage from like the older interviews where I took bits and pieces of those videos that were on the same subject. I think my next one will be a compilation video about Jim Cornette. Do I think the British Bulldogs tag team will ever make it to the Hall of Fame? Football fan Dan says. I don't know if they'll put Davey Boy Smith in twice unless they hire Harry back and he gets a lot more pull. I do think they will eventually put Dynamite Kid in. He should have been in long before Coco Beware. He's way above the Coco Beware bar. Yeah. Anthony Shabbat, Ken Shamrock is going into the Impact Hall of Fame. The last Impact Hall of Fame induction I saw was literally, it was at a bar. They put Abyss in, and it was literally at like a bar. And what Ken Shamrock is going in the Hall of Fame. Good for him. I really hold the grudge and Impact for making Ken Shamrock do this, all the dick stuff with Joey Ryan. And like, you got a guy like Ken Shamrock, a UFC Hall of Famer with his name value in the company, and yet you made 124-pound girl the champion. And Rob Van Dam too. I understand he's injured now, but like, those are two people that could have given the company a lot more credibility. That company's just, I guess they're operating on their TV deals, but I don't know how they've stayed in business. It's a horrible product. Crazy Clown says, I met Dan Severin in Angola, Indiana before. Dan, I talked to today, he thinks this whole thing has been blown out of proportion because we were supposed to do an interview next week, a very special interview in Phoenix, and that's going to be delayed now too. GCL777 says, do I think I'll be able to get an interview with Ric Flair anytime in the future? I wish. He wouldn't even do a short interview with me. I saw him at the Rhode Island Comic-Con a few years ago. He had no lineup the day I was there. I did talk to him, but he wouldn't do an interview with me. And that's probably due to his connection with WWE. He probably needs WWE's approval. But I don't hold that against him. I'm still a big fan of Ric Flair. Skeeter Jerkins, do I ever need extra tech, sound, or cameraman? Yes, I always do. Great North Wrestling at gmail.com. There's a few people that check that. I am one of them. So if you guys have ways that you think you can help, I'm always interested to see that. Coco Beware is a joke of a Hall of Fame induction. Someone says, some people also pointed out, and Lanny was the first to actually point this out, that they put the whole Von Erich family in the Hall of Fame. And if you watch my compilation video on the Von Erichs, yes, Kevin was successful. Kerry was the most successful. David was very successful. But Mike and Chris, I believe, are also in the Hall of Fame. Yet for the Poffo family, like Macho Man wanted, they wouldn't put Lanny or Angelo in. They probably would have if Lanny had held out, but he didn't. So I disagree with Lanny not being in the Hall of Fame if like the whole Von Erich family could be in, and if that's what Macho Man's wishes were. Just a quick question. Wes Phillips says, I was curious with Vince McMahon saying he was going to bury the independents by 2025. Is there truth to that? I never heard anything of Vince saying that. And why would he want to bury independents? Yes, their NXT UK caused a lot of the UK indies to close, but they need independent wrestlers to breed superstars, because what superstar have they made from the Performance Center? Name like a legitimate superstar that has come from the Performance Center. The last real star WWE has had is John Cena, Brock Lesnar, to a lesser extent Randy Orton, not taking anything away from Orton. They all came from OVW. Roman Reigns is not a megastar to the level that Cena was, and Cena never met the Austin levels, but Roman Reigns was from FCW, I believe. So I don't know who the biggest star is that came from the Performance Center. WWE Hall of Fame is kind of a joke, someone says, because Cyndi Lauper's in it. Well, that's the celebrity wing. And at least Cyndi Lauper is a legitimate celebrity, I guess. But I don't know. The whole thing is just a money thing. And really, is there really any total legitimate Hall of Fames in wrestling? I don't know. I really don't know. Good question here from Radish Beat. Any updates on Tank Abbott's health? And yes, I have updates on Tank Abbott's health, okay? He had an intestine problem. He was in a lot of pain. Keep in mind, the past few years, he had both a liver and kidney transplant. He was taken to the hospital. He had an obstruction in his intestines. They took care of it. He was home for a day. And then yesterday I got a message from his wife saying that he had some type of emergency and had to go back to the hospital. So the last I have heard, Tank Abbott is back in the hospital right now. Carlos Canuso, WrestleMania is not going to have fans. No, they're not. And one other thing I noticed from the clips on YouTube I saw of Raw is it doesn't really look very realistic with no fans, to be honest. And as I also said in my previous video, why can't we be more creative and do like more vignettes? Why do they have to have like a ring with empty seats in the same format as always when they don't have any fans? Why can't you mix it up a bit and be more creative? It sucked, okay? The clips I saw sucked. There's no other way of putting it than that. Tank and Don Fry are my favorite MMA fighters, Crazy Clown says, and those are two of the all-time greats, two legitimate tough guys, two guys that would fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, even while they are friggin' hurt. They both have serious health issues. And if somebody challenged those guys, they would fight. So bad updates overall for today. Let's hope this craziness starts to get under control soon. Have a good evening, everybody.